In this video, I'm going to share with you the bizarre secret to feeling it before you experience it. And to help you best understand, I want to start with a visual example of why this is so critical. So here is the mirror of reality. So let's say that you're wanting to have the feeling of being in a loving, secure relationship. But all your life, you've actually only experienced rejection and abandonment, and you're struggling with how in the world can I feel safe, loving, secure love when all I've had is abandonment and rejection? So right now, what we're going to have is an empty cup, okay? That's going to represent not having love. Now, what most people think happens is that they have outside of them this experience, okay? This beautiful plant right here is representing love. And they think, okay, my cup, my feeling right now is empty, but when I have this experience from reality come into my life, that gives me the reason to then feel. So then I can put down my old feeling and I pick up the new feeling, and then I have this experience. But what really happens is as you're there and you're waiting and you're trying and you're thinking of the feeling, you're seeing it happen for other people outside of you. And you're like, oh, my reflection is an empty cup. Why is this happening? Okay, I'm going to think of it. I'm going to tap into the feeling. Okay, I'm going to say the affirmations. I'm going to do all the techniques. But deep in my psyche, in my subconscious, a knowing of myself has an entire energy realm, an electromagnetic signatures, Dr. Joe, thoughts, feelings, and actions. But deep in the core of that is the feeling that Neville talked about. So you keep getting that reflection back. So the only way to actually see in your reality the plant, the relationship, is to be in the energy of that relationship, which opens up the space to 1, attract it, 2, perceive it, and 3, have the capacity to receive it. And if you don't change the feeling first, you actually will never be able to experience the relationship. Because if you're waiting for your reality to tell you how to feel, to give you a reason to change your feeling, you perpetually create and expand and send out the same exact level of consciousness, aka feeling. And again, Neville said in his own words, the only way to change outside of you, the circumstances, is to change your level of consciousness, which is another way to say the feeling. So again, if you're frustrated and you're having a hard time, it's because this is happening. You're thinking of it, you're seeing it happen out there, it's perpetuating not having it. So then you stay in that old feeling, imagining that one day this experience comes in and then you can let it go. So feeling it is not some luxury, which is what I used to think, that, oh, I'll feel it and that will be good, but maybe I can experience it first and it'll be easier to have the feeling. But you'll never be able to experience it until you change your feeling. So now I'm going to share with you the 3 things that I did to completely change my feeling that made it practical and much easier to actually be able to feel it long before I actually experienced it. So step 1 is going to be get clear on you. Because if you're anything like I used to be, I was very externally oriented. I thought in order to feel better about myself, in order to feel worthy of love, in order to feel deserving, I needed somebody to show me that. And until they did, I just continued to feel worthless. And then I thought, well, no one else loves me. No one's able to stay in this sustainable relationship. They abandoned me. All the different things. So that must mean I'm not worthy. And I just stayed stuck there waiting for the outside to show me something different. But what I had to do is get clear on myself. What really was it that I was wanting out of a relationship? For you, if you want love, why? Oh, it will make my life better. But how? If you want money, why? This is not something to judge yourself about, but what is it that you perceive you will experience in an end emotion? The more and more you get clear on the need it's going to meet, the easier it's going to be to understand yourself and pull back your power from outside of you and focus on you being an internally oriented being, which is going to allow you access to change what you're sending out. So for me, love was about stability. It was about connection. It was about a sense of belonging. The more I focused on this and understood, oh yes, those things are very important to meet my need. It helped me get clear on why that was happening, helped me focus on different situations. Is this meeting a need? Is this stability? Okay, I'm dating somebody. But is this consistent? Is this stable? Do I have a sense of connection and belonging here? If that wasn't true, if that wasn't the case, well, that relationship wasn't actually what I was looking for. It was using up my time and energy and just repeating that old pattern of trying to get the other person, trying to get the outside to change so I feel differently. What end emotion will this bring you that you desire? What need will that then fulfill within you? And then what concept of yourself will you need to have to be somebody who has those needs met? And that is a natural part. This helps to pull back all your energy from the outside and start giving it to yourself, because you're wanting that attention to go to you. You're wanting that consideration. You're wanting that connection. But if you continue to look outside of you, right? If you're here and the other's here and all your attention's with them, right? What they're doing. And if it's about money, this is the same thing. You're focused on who you need to be, what you need to do. All your energy's out there. You're not emotionally available to yourself. So you're going to get a big old reflection of that, which is what? Ghosting. All of a sudden they're there and then they're gone, right? Because that's your dynamic to yourself. The more you learn to internally orient and stay with yourself, that is what the foundation to start being able to feel it, which is so bizarre to me because it feels like it should be the opposite. It feels like the outside should define you and make you feel better, but really you have to do it, and then the outside is what changes it. So now let's get to step 2. So the second thing you're going to need to do, that again seems like it should be the opposite, but you're going to have to change your self-concept and understand what concept and what beliefs, what assumptions you need to hold space for that new feeling, for the feeling that will bring in and call in and have a reflection of what you desire, because you deserve, you are worth that experience that you want. But we're going to need to make some room for you to feel it. And this is going to be shifting perspective of yourself. So let me show you visually though why this is the case. Okay, so here's your old self-concept. I put a rock in it just because that's how it felt for me. But I also put it in there because it's taking up space, right? There's a container of this concept and it's taking up space. That's what's filling it. Now the desired self-concept, right, of this new love, well, you can't just put it in there because it's taking up room, right? It's full. So you can't just say, oh, this new experience comes in and then, oh, it's there. Because you have to remove, you have to start letting go of those old things and remove them so that you actually can contain the energetic capacity for something new. Now, if you're interested and want some more help in your own life, I'm still offering one-on-one sessions where we'll sit down over Zoom and I will share exactly how you can use this in your specific and unique dynamic. I have already worked with a lot of different people who have experienced massive breakthroughs, which have allowed them to start taking action towards a different set of circumstances. If this interests you and it resonates, go ahead and click the link below, fill out the form, and I will email you. If you're like me, I wanted that experience to come in and then just replace what I was feeling and how I thought about myself, but it was full. So I had to start getting rid and ditching old concepts of myself based on past experiences, and I snapshotted the meaning when I was about 3, 4, 5, 8 years old, before my brain had developed. But unconsciously, those were running. They were running 95% of my life, and I kept feeling the same exact thing over and over and over. And it was so frustrating because all this energy was going out and then it felt impossible. How can I feel this new thing I want when my reflection keeps showing me that I'm not good enough, that I'm not worthy, not realizing it was just a perpetual reflection of how I felt about myself. So shifting your self-concept, starting to get in there and dig out old assumptions is vital for you to be able to feel it and then experience it. Remember, it's always going to be from inside outside. Your self-concept, your assumptions is what you'll always see in the outside world. Also, too, it's important that your perceptions, meaning that what your conscious brain has access to, is only about 40 pieces of information, while your subconscious is processing through 20 to 50 million pieces of information, and they allow through to your conscious awareness where you're going to have a meaning given. They're only allowing a very, very, very small percentage, meaning that all the possibilities that exist right now, all those potentials for new experience to help really reiterate this new feeling, those are blocked out. Because that's not what the past said. The past said something different. So I'm going to try to anticipate the future based on the past, and all I have conscious access to is the past. So as you start to dissolve and let go of these ideas of yourself, they're just ideas, and you can have a new idea of yourself. And the more that feels safe in that new idea of yourself, the easier it is to accept and impress upon the subconscious mind, which is allowing you to cultivate that feeling. But first, you're going to need to start making space. Now, if you're interested and want some more help in your own life, I'm still offering one-on-one sessions where we'll sit down over Zoom and I will share exactly how you can use this in your specific and unique dynamic. I have already worked with a lot of different people who have experienced massive breakthroughs, which have allowed them to start taking action towards a different set of circumstances. If this interests you and it resonates, go ahead and click the link below, fill out the form, and I will email you. All right, and drum roll. For the third, but certainly not least, important thing to do to tap into this bizarre secret is going to be practice expanding it. There's also this notion that you just tap into the feeling and that's it. You hit it just like maybe you'd hit a baseball or a golf ball and boom, baby, you are in that new experience. And for me, that was not the case. If you can do that, more props to you. That was not the case for me. I had so many years of rejection and abandonment that it felt impossible and completely foreign at the idea that somebody would stay, somebody would value me, right? So one of the easiest things to start understanding is this is going to be just like a muscle. Start to practice expanding it. Realize you don't have to be perfect. You can go out and try different things. Now, the biggest key, let me emphasize, the biggest key to make this more and more easy to stay in is going to be through experience. In the book, The Developing Mind by Dr. Siegel, he talks about how important interpersonal experiences are to completely shift our mind, which is a function of our brain. We perceive our reality through our mind. Our mind is different lenses based on the past unless you start to have new experiences where your body understands, oh, it's safe. Oh, here's this new experience. I'm going to store that new data and start upgrading my program. This doesn't have to happen all at once. For me, it didn't. And if you're struggling with this, being able to feel something you've not yet experienced, I'm encouraging you to do this in smaller elements so you can gain confidence and momentum. Now, what does that look like? Now, if you refer back to the part where I talked about your needs getting met, right? The consistency, the reliability, how can you start advocating for that with new experiences? Another huge way to do this is to show up differently in an old dynamic. And what does that mean? Let me draw a picture. Okay, even though I've said it time and time again, I'm going to keep saying it because this is what changed my life. This is what gave me new experiences when it was an old dynamic where I could have easily given the same meaning, stayed in the old feeling, and kept getting the old reflection. Okay, but somebody taught me how to do this, and then I learned how to describe it to you, and I really, really want you to use it. So for me, this was all about relationships. Realize this could also be money, okay? And I'll get into that a little bit later. So maybe you're dating somebody. Maybe it's serious. Maybe you just start to crush on them, whatever the case. And then things are going, moving pretty good, and you're getting excited and like, this is great. And then they're like, whoa, I need some space. I need some time, right? Maybe we shouldn't see each other for a month, or, I got some other stuff going on. And you're like, oh my God. Now, the big key here is what meaning are you going to put on why they want space? Okay? Are you going to say, oh, what did I do Do they not like me? Should I have done more? Maybe I could do something over the top and then they'll like me. This is going to go to that old dynamic that I'm not good enough, that everyone always leaves me unless I prove my worth. This old is based on the past. And if the past is coming back up here, guess what you're doing? You're in this horrific, painful, just very, very unfulfilling and undesirable loop, right? So you have this moment. They need space. Okay, what meaning are you going to put on it? For one, you're going to use ABC. Okay, I'm aware of the old story coming up that I'm saying that the reason they're doing this is because of me. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I know I have a lot to offer. They're not, that's all they've given me is that they want space. Okay, I don't know what's going on in their life. I don't know what they've been through. I don't know their attachment style. So maybe as you get closer to somebody, it repels them, it scares them. Okay, well, that's not about me. How can I, so that's the breathing, so awareness of the old story, right? And then breathing to regulate your nervous system and ground yourself, staying in your body. Because if you don't stay in your body, you're going to go to the past. Okay, the new choice. Okay, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm disappointed. Okay, I'm not taking this personally because I didn't really get a lot of information. So I'm going to trust myself and I'm going to go take care of myself. What do I need? Maybe I'm feeling anxious. Maybe I need to move my body, go for a walk, right? The walks are so helpful because your eyes scan. This is big in EMDR. Your eyes are scanning and it helps to take energy away from the amygdala and reduce your lens of fear. You're like looking through the world through binoculars of fear. So that helps you regulate, okay? Maybe you need to go to the gym. Maybe you want to go on a run. Maybe you're feeling kind of, oh, that one stung. Maybe I'll call a friend for support. Maybe I'll do some somatic soothing practices. But I'm going to take care of myself in this situation because I know what is happening is not about what I lack. And I know that I'm worthy and deserving of love. Because what did you do in part 2? You created space. You started working on your self-concept, letting go of the rock ideas and saying that's what I used to think of myself. But I realized those ideas of myself early on weren't true. I didn't have the mind to understand the situation, and now I do. And I realize that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is my ability to respond to keeping myself safe here, which is allowing me to be emotionally available, which is allowing me to be seen, which is allowing me to stay stable, right? And consistent with myself. So what feeling am I having? I'm having the feeling of love. And maybe that person doesn't have space. Maybe they come back later. Doesn't matter. I am staying in the new feeling despite that. And it is absolutely just a matter of time before I see this reflection back to me over and over and over in the new choice for that feeling. Before you've experienced it is just letting the universe know mentally the electrical part. But the biggest key is the feeling. That is your magnet. And then taking actions as that of truth of you. The more and more you do this, the more you're feeling it before you experience it, which is just a matter of time before you attract what you're really looking for because you know yourself, because you stay and make choices based on that truth. That is the feeling level that Neville Goddard talked about, that level of conscious awareness of yourself, that level of consciousness in general. Then you get a reflection of people, circumstances, and situations. And again, this could be the same thing for money. Oh no, money's going away. What do I do? I'm not worthy. Nothing ever works out. Okay, well, how can I take care of myself right now? What do I know? How can I move towards what I'm looking for? Well, I know it's not about my worth. Maybe this is a good thing, right? The more and more you realize the inner dynamics and the choices you make and how detrimental they are to staying in that old feeling, you deserve more than this. And this experience is over. And when you start doing this, that is what will change what you see a reflection of, because it's changing who you are being. And you deserve to experience that. Now, you might want a little bit more support and clarity on how exactly you can change into this new self-concept. Worry not. I've got this video right here that's going to show you exactly how I personally changed my self-concept to actually see my circumstances change. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you on the next one.